Hello friends, welcome in. Okay. Find myself. Get myself all shared. Hello there, Miss Yvonne. How are you, dear? Welcome in to everyone. We are in Yadi's Workshop and Friends event group, and today is the candle event. So we are meant to use candles, and hopefully my idea is going to work. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that it'll work. Bear with me, as I'm glad to hear that you're doing good. Y'all just bear with me a bit if you can, because I'm also, my mouth hurts a bit, so you know how that goes. Hola, Yadi. Hello there, Miss Bonnie. Thank you for the sprinkles, dear friend. I appreciate you. Okay. So let me bring you over so you guys can hopefully see what I have on my desk, and we'll get rolling. Alright, so I have two items here from the Dollar Tree. Alright, so these are the little globes that they sell at Christmas time. These are great and fun to use, and that is what we're going to be using. And then I also have the flameless candles that also come from the Dollar Tree. Okay, so that is what we're going to be using as our candle form and our base for our project. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. And thank you for working with me. It really means a lot. So I actually went, because I couldn't find any of my candles. So I actually went to the Dollar Tree. I have a container, and it's labeled lights, and it has like the flameless candles and the little fairy lights. I don't know where it ended up. I'm sure I'll find it. So I went to the Dollar Tree, and you can find these in the holiday section, and they have the silver, the gold, the red, the green. And the 2-pack is $1.50 because it's the seasonal stuff. Okay. The 3-pack that you can find over in the house section, like where all the candles and stuff are, is $1.25. So just saying, you know, just saying. Okay. Definitely a better deal. So my idea, hello there, Miss Jackie. Welcome in, friend. My idea is that we are going to use one of these flameless candles, and I'm going to make a hole, and we're going to pop it through here and just have the little candle pop out in our scene here. And you can move it closer, or you know, to the side, or you could do a smack in the middle, however you want to do it. So that's pretty cool. And by it being where only the flame comes through, so I'll have the light, and I'll still have access. So if I need to turn it on or off or change the battery, I'll still have access to that, right? And if you want to put like glitter or something in there and seal this, you know, like a real snow globe, you can do that, still have the light, because it'll be accessible without, you know, having the mess of the glitter going everywhere. So I like that idea. So we're going to work with that, and I'm going to try to use my my tool on this and hope that it'll work. Now, we can put stuff on the inside, right? If you want to do that. I want to actually try to Mod Podge on half of it on the outside. And I need to see, where did my... I was debating if I wanted to put my little animals on this, right? I have larger animals that I could put on it. The larger ones might not, I don't know, they might work. They could possibly work, I don't know. Or we could just go Christmas with it. And I know everybody's been doing Christmas today, so I've kind of been, you know, debating if I wanted to do Christmas or not. So we may just go with Hello Autumn. I think would look cute. So I think that's the one, because it's, but I like these animals, they're so cute. You know what, we're gonna do the animals. I've decided we're gonna do the animals. I like them too much. That is what we're gonna be doing. And it's really cute because this napkin actually has, so we have the animals where they are like this, or we have them here where like the fox has the umbrella and they're kind of sitting down, but this one actually I think will look better. So that's the one we're going to work with. And I always like to remind y'all to cut your napkin while you still have all the plies on, because it makes it easier, and then remove the plies afterwards. So that's what we're going to, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it and then I'll remove my plies. So before me was Miss Lisa Mary. We had also Miss Yadi. We had Miss Yvonne on today. We had Miss Cindy from Monarch Mom. I always get her page name messed up. But if you missed anybody, please go back and watch the replays. Today was a shorter event than usual, but still really awesome. Great ideas for the upcoming season. Lots of cute little centerpiece ideas. Now, I'm not a big centerpiece person. I don't know why. Don't ask me. So, I don't know, just not my thing. Never really did them. So we're going to do a reverse decoupage. Thank you, Monarch Mom DIY. So we're going to do a reverse decoupage, which means that instead of putting the glue down and I'm going to put the image facing me, I'm going to put the glue down and I'm going to put the image facing down. Okay? But even with that, we still have to make sure we take off all of the plies, my friends, okay? Because if not, you know, you'll still have issues of lifting and all the things, and it's not good. Okay? Not good. So, we'll work on our little candle piece here in a bit. Thank you to everybody who's been popping in. I really do appreciate it. Again, thank you so much. Okay. So, I'm going to make my Mod Podge. By putting some glue, and I'm going to add some water to it to help it move around a little smoother. But thank you to everybody again for joining us, And thank you, Miss Yadi, for putting the event on. Again, thank you for working with me. I wanted to start off the month doing what I love, which is to create, you know? And I just didn't want to let some tooth issues get in the way. So thank you so much for allowing me to swap, and instead of starting, to end us. I do appreciate that. Okay, so just like we would normally do, we're going to put a nice, you know, layer here of our Mod Podge. Yep. Definitely don't want a hair in there. That's not going to work out too well. Hey, quit it, you guys. You know, what's so funny? I don't have little kids, but I have cats now. And just like when I had little ones, you gotta tell them to leave each other alone, to stop fighting with their siblings. It's funny, is all I can say. They definitely keep me on my toes. But I'm so grateful for them. Okay. Now, I am going to try my best to get this and then we're gonna have to bring it down. Yeah, they do. They do. They just, it's like, oh, come on, y'all. They're funny. They are funny. They keep you on your toes. That's for sure. I have one who decided he wanted to come in, and then as I'm getting ready to go live, then he's like, you know, acting like he wants to go out, and I'm like, look, you just came in and I gotta go live. I can't be playing this in-out game with you, because that's what he likes to do. He likes to go in and out, in and out. I was like, I can't do that. It's like, you need to chill. I was like, you need to chill, Buster. Mandy! Hey, sweet girl. How you doing, my friend? Thank you for joining. We are in Miss Yadi's Workshop and Friends event today, and it is about candles. So, oh yeah, they are funny. That's for sure. They keep, like I said, they keep me on my toes. I had said it the other night. I was like, you know what? I was like, okay, all my kids are grown and, you know, I'm done. Nope, I got cats. I have cats now, so no, I am not done. But you know what? I am grateful for them because they are so sweet and they're great little companions, even when they drive you a little bonkers sometimes. I'm very grateful for them. Okay. Alright, so I ended up with a whole bunch of like extra right up here, so I'm actually going to try to trim it off. And I want to thank everybody for joining me on your Saturday. It is also the first day of November, so the countdown has begun. And I'm not talking about to Thanksgiving nor to Christmas, to the end of the year, guys. Like, how crazy is that? Like, it's another year. You know, I think back how as kids we always felt like it took forever for the years to go, you know, to pass. And now I'm like, where in the world has time gone? It's going by way too fast. Way too fast. This is why you must appreciate every moment that you have with those that you love, because life is short. It goes by in a blink of an eye. It really does. I think my kids thought I was cuckoo, because yesterday I had surgery, so before I went in, I knew my oldest son was sleeping because he had worked, he had closed the day before, so I knew he was asleep. And then I knew that my other son was busy doing his training with the Navy. So I just sent him text messages, and I was like, I love you guys. You know, just remember I'm proud of y'all. And so I say, I don't know. I know my oldest messaged me back and was like, Mom, he's like, Mom, I love you too. The thing about it is that I did that when I was on my way to surgery, because you never know, right? I mean, you always go in hoping and praying for the best, but again, I mean, life is short and we never know. And I wanted to make sure that, you know, if anything did happen, that at least they knew how important they were to me, you know. Because, yeah, you know, people might be like, oh, well, that's silly because it was, you know, just a simple procedure or whatever. I'm like, no, full anesthesia is never something to play around with. And so I just wanted them to know that, you know. When they tell you not to wait to tell people that you love them, that is the truth. Never wait, because you never know. Yep, every minute is a blessing. So true. Alright, so I have a gap here, so I'm going to fill it with this other napkin that I have. And it's just like pumpkins and green, and it'll just help kind of cover that up. So my oldest was like, yeah, Mom, I came by, but you were asleep. I was like, I know. It's like, that's why I'm, you know, sending you a message. Because, yeah, exactly. Every moment is a blessing. Every minute that we have, that God grants us, is a true blessing. Because we never know. And you know, it might sound cliche or whatever you want to say, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. It kind of helps close it off, so I'm good with that part. Alright, I do need to trim it though, because it have too much. But yeah, we never know when will be our last breath. And, you know, especially today starts November, and this, if you don't do it any other time of the year, at least this month should be the month that we take the time to be, you know, to look around us and be grateful for what we have. Even the little things, like our cats. Because I know that, like, if anything were to happen to any of them, I mean, that would make me very, very sad. You know, like right now I might fuss at them for running around and everything else, but if they weren't here, I'd miss that. And so sometimes it's, you know, realizing that that's important, because that's when you appreciate, and we always need to do that. The roof that we have over our head, the food that's in our pantries, in our fridge, our family, even if they do drive us bonkers sometimes, because no family's perfect, right? Every family has their quirks, their things, and we still need to be grateful for them. Okay, so all I'm doing is trying to seal where I put this extra napkin piece on, and I want to make sure that it is all okay. Now, to make this look a little more cohesive, once this is really dry, so I'm not going to do it right now, but once this is really nice and dry, I'll come back and I'll put a layer of white paint over it, and it'll help to, one, seal in the napkin, and two, it'll help you know, especially since I'm putting a light on the inside, I don't really need the light to come in, okay, so I can do that. All right, now I need to try and see if we can cut some of this off. Let's see if we can cut some of this off. May need to wait for it to dry a little bit more. Yeah. So once this finishes to dry completely, I'm going to cut this excess off, okay, so that it will sit nice and flush. So we're going to let that dry for now. Let's work on our base, okay? Alright, so I want the bulk of my light to be on the back end of this, so I am going to put it through here and make myself a marking, if I can, of where I need to so I can see where the light is. So right there. Okay, so that is where I need to clear so that I can put this to go through it. Now you see how wide that is, so that means that this hole actually has to be quite big, about that big, at least. So we're going to start working on that, okay? And there's a few ways you could go about doing this. If you have like a wood burning tool, that would be great to come in here. I'm going to see if I can do essentially what that would be, but with my glue gun. So I'm just going to warm up, and I'm going to try to melt. See how I'm trying to melt the plastic? Again, if you have like a wood burning tool, something that gets hot, a hot knife for like foam or something, that would work as well. But as you see, this also did work. Now, of course, I have a whole bunch of goop. Don't do that at home unless you have nails. Long nails, let me clarify. Okay, let me clarify that part. And then now I can come with my craft knife, and we can, since it's still soft, we can come in here and get the rest of this plastic out of the way. For our little candle piece to come through. So think about it. I mean, this would make a fun, cute little, you could do this with Christmas, make, you know, cute little globe to match your decor. These would make cute little gifts. You know, you could insert pictures on the inside if you wanted to, right? Okay, so let me test and see if it'll go through. Nope, I need some more. So we need to come in and we need to melt this down some more. So I'm just gonna come and melt, 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 melt. And melt this a little bit more. Like I said, I'm just utilizing what I have. And most of us have a heat tool, right? Most of us have a heated glue dispenser. I love snow globes. So fun fact, I collect snow globes. So if I like them, believe me, yeah. So I have a snow globes, nutcrackers, those are things that I like to collect. And they're so fun. They really, really are a lot of fun. And you can make them, you know. I think that Hobby Lobby sells these globes as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw them when I was in there, but I haven't been in like looking really well at the Christmas stuff, other than I picked up a paper pad. But I think they do have them. Oh, really? That's pretty cool. See, when you know people collect things like that, it makes it easier to give them gifts. Okay, so see? Alright, so now I'll be able to attach this. And look. See? So flicker. Alright? Okay? And again, depending on what you're doing, you could put it in the middle. You know, I wanted it more towards the back so it'll show the image that I put. But yeah, and it's not that hard. I mean, I made the hole a little big, but hey, nothing that couldn't be covered if needed, right? Okay, and talking about that, we're going to attach it. And I think I'm going to use my E6000. Hello there, Miss Mary. So I'm going to use my E6000 to attach my little candle piece. Okay. And again, I'm just bringing it in and we're just attaching it. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you like the idea. And like I said, this is going to be available to where if you need to replace the battery, you can access the battery. You can turn it on, you know, and off as you want. So, you know, you don't kill the battery. And I think it's a pretty cool, pretty nifty idea. I'm glad that you liked it. Yay! Awesome. Okay, so I might actually need to add a little bit of, maybe I might need to add some hot glue. Hopefully not. Okay. Now on the inside of this, like I said, you know, so you guys get an idea, right? I think we need to add like some little like florals or some leaves right there. And I had a bag. And I don't know what I did with them. I do not know what I did with them. You could also add a small piece if you wanted to, but that's not going to look right with that. Okay. Let me see, where did my little pink flowers go to? I had some little pink flowers. Did I not? Yes, here we go. There's a little bit of some pink flowers, and because there is some pink in here, we're going to add a few of these little pink flowers. And I'm going to grab a little bit of moss as well. Okay. This is going to make a mess, I think, when I pull them out. If I can pull them out. Oh, come on now. There we go. Why would you make it so hard to take them out? Makes no sense to me. Okay. So I do want to add a few of them down here, but I want to add some moss. And then I'll add the flowers to it. So not doing like super fall or Christmassy. I just wanted to do something a little different, but I thought this would be cute because this is something that I could have any time of the year, really. You know, we can have things out at any time of the year. If we like it, it can be out, right? That's how it works. If we like it, it can be out. So let's get us, and we'll put some of this around it. Alright, so I'm just gonna use some of this. And I will add also some a little bit of hot glue. I don't want to add too much. Now the big thing that you have to remember is not to get too close to the edge, because you know we still have to put it up into the globe, okay? So you don't want to go like too close to the edge. That's the only thing. That would be the only thing you would have to be a little bit mindful of. So let me get some of that hot glue in here. But I'm glad you guys like my idea. Hopefully that'll inspire you guys to try it out. Again, I think maybe Hobby Lobby has something similar to this, to these globes, but I do know that you can get them at the Dollar Tree, because that's where I got mine from. And they had them last year as well. So, I mean, if you have them left over from last year, this is a great thing to do. You know? These would make cute little gifts, guys. Right? For anybody that you may have. I think these would make cute little gifts. Hey there, Lisa Mary. How are you, dear? I loved your Candyland idea. I've decorated my tree in Candyland theme before. It's a lot of fun to do. It really is. It's a lot of fun. Hey, no, that's fine. Right? You gotta complete it now, because if you don't do it now, it's not gonna get done. At least I know that's how I am sometimes. If I don't get it done right away, it ain't gonna... it's gonna take me ages to get back to it. So, I get it. I absolutely get it. Okay. Let's put the rest of that moss back, because I don't need it. And I need another glue stick is what I need. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. You know, we all went a slightly different route with our candle project, and that's what's so fun about these events, is everybody has like their own little ideas. Okay, so let's add a few of these little flowers just to give us, like, you know, you just finished yours. So what did you end up doing? What did you decide to do, my friend? I'm curious. What did you decide to do? Because I know you were not sure what you wanted to do with your project. You know, I've had to walk away and come back. That's happened a time or two. Sometimes it takes me, you know, a whole day before I figure out how I want to finish something. So, you know, sometimes you cannot rush beauty. Right? We can't rush it. Okay, let's put another one over here, just so that it has that. And I'll put one over here. Well, that's good. You know, that's the thing. You gotta like what you make, because you're the one who has to look at it, right? Or even if you decide to sell it, you still have to love what you're trying to sell to somebody else. Because, you know, people can tell when you are passionate about what you make or not. Okay, so I'm going to put a few of these loose ones in there, because remember, again, this is a little snow globe, right? So we're gonna just add some loose ones in there. I want to see how it'll look. I don't want too many though, so we're gonna look and see how that looks. So, and then if I put my light on, have my little light, right? And I have my little florals there. And you can close it. Alexa, lights off. Let's see if you guys can see it. See? There it is. Let's see if we can bring it this way. See? See how cute that looks? And it does have, you know, it does have some flowers in there that shake if you wanted to. Alexa, lights on. And then, you know, you just take the lid off and you can turn it on or turn it off from here. You can open it if you need to add stuff or take stuff out. So I think it came out really good. I do want to, however, paint the base because I'm a little anal, and I noticed that I can see white, so I'm going to actually try to paint this base right quick. But hopefully that gives you guys an idea. I mean, think about it. You could do that and add like the little fake snow in, right? That would look cute with the little fake snow in it. Okay, let me get some green paint right quick. Let's put some of this paint on it. Just on the edge here, because I don't like that I can see, you know, maybe somebody else will be like, oh, but it doesn't. No, I can see it, so it matters. If I can see it, it's a problem. Alright, so give me something that I can control right quick. Alright, let me. Okay, so see, I just want to cover right here where it is kind of visible, because I didn't have the stuff come all the way to the edge. So keep that in mind when, if you decide to do something like that, that, you know, you can see the rim here, especially if you don't come all the way out with whatever you put on top. Now, if I would have had, like, if this would have been for like fake snow or something, it wouldn't have mattered because it's white. But because it's green, I can see the white, and so then, you know, that's a bit of a problem. So I'm just gonna paint this and try to cover up some of that exposed white right there. I think I'm gonna try to do a few other ones of these. We'll do some Christmas ones, because again, I like doing them, and I love how the little candle came out. So I'm definitely going to be doing some more of those for sure. So yeah, just keep in mind that whatever you're doing on your base, you know, you're gonna have that white exposed, and you know, you might want to paint it first depending on what you're doing. Again, if you're doing something that's white, it might not be that bad. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to dry this a little bit. No, thank you so much for having me. Again, thank you for working with me and all that. I really do appreciate it. I know once I get off here, I've been talking a lot, so I can kind of feel. So I know I'll be going to. Now remember, this is plastic, so you don't want to heat it up too much, but you do, you know, I'm just trying to get that to dry. If you do need to paint this, I would suggest before you make the hole and do everything else, maybe spray paint it. That'll be the easiest to do, you know. So just think about that. Again, I mean, that's why we craft live, and you know, if we realize that there's something that would be easier come your time to do it, you know, Hopefully you will remember our mistakes, and in this case, you might want to paint your bottom. So thank you so much for having me. Everybody enjoy your weekend. I really am grateful that we are starting a new month, that I get to start it here crafting with my friends, and that I hope I'll be seeing you guys. I will be on for several days this week, so hopefully you'll join me. Okay. Again, thank you for having me, Miss Yadi. As always, it's a pleasure to be part of your events. This was the candle event, guys. And if you missed anybody, please go to Yadi's Workshop and Friends, where you can see all of the wonderful creations that were done today. It should be. Yep, praying it'll be fast as well. So, best thing was there seemed that there wasn't any type of complication. There was concern because the whole reason why I had to have dental surgery and be fully and put under anesthesia was the tooth that had to be taken out was all the way up in my sinus pocket, and so they would not do it in office. And the surgeon told me that there's the fear that if they just yank it out and there's a big hole there, and with it being in the sinus pocket, that can cause some problems. So I'm grateful that I did go so that they could sew and all the things. But yeah, we'll hopefully. So I know I'm done early, but I can't really assemble this because the paint is still wet. But you guys saw this goes on the inside of our globe, and again, it makes it easy. Like I said, I don't know how other globes are. I know that the one at the Dollar Tree has the stopper piece, and that's the one that will allow you to add your light on the inside, so that then you can have your little flickering light and all the good things. So again, I am the last person on here. I do need to go take some meds because it's starting to hurt, and I can taste a little bit of the blood coming out, so I need to stop talking. So I love everybody. Thank you so very much for being here and for having me, Miss Yadi. Have a blessed weekend. Y'all be safe, be blessed, and once I put it together,